Have you ever wondered whether you have lived before? Many people in many parts of the world do believe this. The concept of reincarnation is thousands and thousands and thousands of years old. And yet, if you have no memory of a previous life, it does not mean that you haven't lived before. Often the past lives are brought into this life at a very deep, deep unconscious level. And we come into this world to work on spiritually evolving. And if there are bits and pieces that are not quite finished from previous incarnations, those little bits and pieces can show up again to be worked upon and resolved, so that it can be quite a surprise to discover, oh, I've had a previous life. Or it can feel as though, oh, that explains a lot. And I'll give you a personal example. Growing up, I had no memory of past lives, but I was phobic about water, even though I grew up in the desert where nothing was deeper than 4 inches if it was wet. And it wasn't until many years later that I was one day out of the blue, got back an entire past life memory, and it was one in which I drowned. So it finally made sense why I was phobic about water. So that's just an example of how a past life can sometimes affect you in this lifetime. Sometimes in a psychic reading, you may find that a past life appears and that the person who is doing the reading may say, oh, look at this. And the reason it's important to address past lives that come up in psychic readings is that they tend to sometimes make for difficulties that you don't quite understand why it keeps coming up when you know better. And in that case, it's important to bring light into the area of unconsciousness. And it can look like a tangle in your energy field, or it can look like a picture. But in either case, it is possible to work with those past lives so that you can let them take their correct place in memory as a foundation stone for who you are now, rather than as a block to who you want to be. So I hope that helps. And if you want more information, you can click on the links below that talk about both my psychic readings and my Modern Tree of Life course. Thanks for watching.